Thank you very much, Kaya Streeter, for the wonderful introduction. You're a very funny guy. You recognize that the comedian you have here. I also like hanging out with you because I'm not the only one with an accent. Makes it very nice. I don't know why it's not called Schwartz energy, but I mean, that's another story. But it is wonderful also to have Mayor Bloomberg out here today with us. And he's not only a fantastic mayor of New York City, but he's also a great national leader for some of the very important issues that we're pioneering out here in California, such as stem cell research or for our fight against global warming. The mayor has always said to me that I want to come out to California and to see some of the actions that you're creating out there and the kind of work that you're doing on environment and energy. And you know, he wants to see it firsthand, and he's interested in coming out also here to have a dialogue and to discuss how we can do both, protect the environment and also protect our industries and protect our economy. So we just had a really fascinating tour here in this facility. And it is really extraordinary to see the kind of work and the inventions and everything that is going on here, manufacturing the fuel cells that produce electricity and hydrogen power. And it is without any doubt the Mayor Bloomberg and I, we're both a businessman, and we know that the robust economy, the robust business and job climate is absolutely essential. But at the same time, what is just as important is to keep our environment clean and to fight global warming. So by signing our landmark climate change bill next week, which is Assembly Bill 32, California would take a bold stand against global warming and create great new technologies, kind of technologies that we see right here, and new companies and new jobs. So when I campaigned for governor, I remember in 2003, I said that we would do everything we can to make California a leader in the fight against global warming. And so I want to say thanks to the legislative leaders and the legislators for helping me in that fight. We are now ready to do exactly that. But we also know that California cannot do this alone, and this is why it is very important that we reach out and include as many people as possible. We have, as a matter of fact, included and started working on reaching out to our Western governors in Western states. They will be coming in and helping us to push some regional action. And we are also teaming up with Prime Minister Tony Blair to share research and collaborate in the best market-based mechanisms. And that is why I'm also very, very proud to be here today with Mayor Bloomberg. To be here today with Mayor Bloomberg and other environmental warriors. He is a terrific environmental warrior, of course, and has been working on this for a long time. He's a great believer that we can do both. Protect the environment and also protect our economy. Partnering with the mayor and with others in the trenches of this issue, California will become the model for the rest of the nation and for the world. And that is something I think that we all in California can be very proud of, because California is number one in a lot of things. I mean, think about it. If it's stem cell research, we are number one in job creation, revenue creation. We have the number one university system in the world, and here we are number one in protecting the environment and fighting global warming. So we are a lot of number ones here, and I think there's something that we can be very, very proud of. I think what you see here today is that, and I'm not speaking here for Mayor Bloomberg, by the way, but I'm just saying I think what you see here today is that we don't wait for the federal government to take the leadership position on this, that we take the leadership position, that we all, and as I said in my speech, it's very important that you can't do that alone. So that's why we reach out to other states in the West, the Western governors, Western states, to ask them to come in and to be part of this, to create some regional action. And we also go beyond that. We go to New York. Like we know that Mayor Bloomberg has been talking about that for a long time, how much he believes in fighting global warming and also protecting New York, and to exchange ideas in the form of partnership. As much as we did with Prime Minister Tony Blair, we reached out to him and said, look, you've been doing a fantastic job in England, and you've proven that you can do both, protect the environment and have a 38% growth, economic growth, so we can prove that we can do both. So that's really what we are doing, is we are forming those partnerships, and we go ahead and move ahead and try to show leadership to the world. But I think what you see here today is so many things. First of all, like I said, Democrats and Republicans have worked together to make AB 32 happen. So that's an unbelievable celebration, because we're talking here about election year, where normally everyone tries to derail each other, and they come together, and they did that. The next week we will be signing that bill, which is huge, which is going to be really rolling back the greenhouse gas emissions to the 1990 level for the year 2020. What you also see here today is here's companies that are working on creating, a new way of energizing the world. And I think to see that, to go through those labs and to see the kind of work and the intelligence and the creativity and the innovation that goes into that is extraordinary, and it proves, as this company has to create 200 plus new jobs, that you can actually expand and have companies, flourish, have the industry and have the economy boom. And this new technology will be a whole new explosion, and I think there will be many, many companies that will be coming out of this and exploding, so it will create a whole new industry. So that, I think this is really
we're the ones that people hold responsible, and we can't sit around and wait for Washington to do something. We can lobby them, and both of us do. We can pressure them, both of us do. But we both have to, day in and day out, serve the voters that have picked us to lead them, and we're going to both do that. And I think it's not a partisan issue. I think he's been a very good governor, and I've watched him from 3,000 miles away. He's somebody that stands up and says what he thinks, and doesn't sit around and just wait, doesn't pontificate, he acts. That's what we need in this country.
This is not about the Democrats versus me. It makes no difference to me. What is important is California is the greenest. It's irrelevant, me, Democrats, Republicans, all of them. California has to be. We have to show leadership. And like you see, Mayor Bloomberg coming out here, Western states coming out here, joining the, Prime Minister, from England is coming out here and is joining us. Tony Blair has been talking to us for hours when he was here, how to craft it, what mistakes not to make, and all of things. Those are the important issues. We move forward. It is not them versus us or anything. It is us leading and trying to have an impact and fight global warming. This is what it is.
And Mayor Bloomberg, welcome to California. I'm curious why you chose to make your announcements here in California, and what we're to make of all the chatter about you possibly testing the waters for a presidential run in 2008.
What? First of all, let me just answer the one question, and he can answer the other question.
It's very simple why I'm here, because California's taken the lead. And I thought that should be an impetus for this whole country. And it's certainly one of the things that we thought about. If California can do it, we have a responsibility to do it. And I've always been a fan of the governor. Nobody will ever accuse Arnold Schwarzenegger of being conventional. And that's why he's been a good governor, I think. And whether it's him or people in both Republicans and Democrats around the country, I'm trying to go around the country and support those who have the vision to take this country forward, and those who are not going to fall into the trap of partisan politics and the gridlock which I see throughout this country.
And how little is getting done in Washington. It is unbelievable. They are frozen. They can't do anything in Washington because it's Democrats against Republicans and Republicans against Democrats, rather than let us solve the problems of this country. And so this is why I admire him, I admire Mayor Bloomberg, and he's my soulmate, he's the man.